We train at an unbelievably high level, one of the most in shape, dedicated to their body guys I've ever played with. It's a part of your DNA. It's who you are. I think you mentioned last year, you have, to us work talking about your process, your grind. You always have people working on your body. I don't remember the exact numbers. I have it written down, of course, in my notebook somewhere, but just talk about the investment you put into your body. Talk about, the people you have involved in your circle, helping you achieve what you want to achieve, your team. And then talk about, your training schedules, different times of year, and different things you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. So, it's another thing, I'm very lucky that I grew up in the household that I grew up in. My dad taught me a lot about taking care of my body and, what it takes to not just train hard, but stay healthy as well. And I think the thing I've learned about that is, once again, you can put as much time, effort into something as possible and still fail. And that's the humbling part of football. And I've seen that happen. And I think the fun part though, is trying to figure out, I look at it, like an experiment, and trying to figure out what's the best way to maximize my potential every year, And so I basically, once again, you talk about combat sports, I treat my off season like like somebody preparing for a fight. And it's a little different because we play now 17 games in 18 weeks. So we're playing one time a week, but it's essentially preparing for a fight every week. So when we get done with the season, I take that month off, but it's really a regen month. It's a contrast bath, get in the pool, go on hikes, get outdoors, get away from everything. You know what I mean? Just let my body truly recover. I think that diet and hydration and sleep is the most important right after the season. You don't get it. You get into what 18, hopefully more car crashes a week. And then, you got to make sure that because of the impact and the contact that you've experienced over the last 18 weeks, you take care of that and address everything that needs to be addressed. So that's what I spend that first month doing. And then, it's a buildup. And that's one thing I've realized too, is the competitor in me wants to be really fast and really strong now. You know what I mean? I want it now. I know I can be there. So, I'll start training and I'll feel like I'm so weak or slow, and my confidence will be lacking because I'm not where I was last year, mid-season last year. And so, but one thing I've had to grow in is the process and realizing that it does take time and it is a progression, and buying into the progression. So once that month off ends, then I'll start like what I call my 8-week camp. So really it's a 10-week camp, but it's 4 weeks on. And in that 4 weeks, you're doing a lot of speed stuff, a lot of progression stuff where you're kind of building up into sprinting, right? You can't just go from 0 to 100. So it's a lot of build up stuff. And then I go a week off after that. So I'll get pretty fast and pretty strong in that first 4 weeks towards the end. And then I'll take a week off. And in that week, like I said, once again, it's all regen, getting in the hyperbaric, sauna, all that stuff is pretty consistent. All the recovery stuff's pretty consistent. I'll have hands on me, whether it's a chiro, soft tissue, or whatever it is, 5-6 times a week, if not every day. And then, so that's 5 weeks. And then I go back and restart that whole period. So then it's another 4 weeks with a week off. And that's my 10-week camp before OTA starts. And so, you hear about the off season in this long amount of time, but it's really not that long. You don't have as much time as you think to prepare yourself to play football. If you truly respect the process of what it takes to get there. And I think last year, the year I got hurt, one of the things I flawed in was not respecting the year I had before that. And when I say I had 403 touches in 16 games that last year, and played, I think 98% of the snaps.
Wow.
And after the season, I wanted to get back. I was pissed off about some things, and I didn't like how the season ended. Obviously I had success, but I just wanted to get back into it. And I overdid it too early and too often. And I think it set me up for fatigue going into training camp. And I'm glad it happened. I'm really glad it happened. I think every athlete who goes through adversity, that's a major advantage. Because you truly learn from your failures. And who knows, football's an unforgiving sport too. You just never know. But I know how I feel in the moment now, and I know how I feel last year, and it's light years better. But that's basically my 10-week camp before OTAs. I'll go through OTAs, do everything with the team. And then after that, I take about 4 or 5 days off where I'll go out. I'll go on vacation somewhere, get to the beach, just once again, regen for 5 days truly. And that means, nothing, because now it's truly, I think not all the hay's put in the barn, but you got most of it in. And after those 5 days, then I go a 3.5, 4-week camp before camp. And once again, it's another progression, and there's certain weights and certain speeds that I want to hit about a week and a half out. And once I'm there, then it's just stay healthy, get healthy for the first day of training camp, and then we're rolling. So it sounds like a lot, but when you break down the dates and you look at a calendar and look at the schedule, I'm going into year 5. I remember every second of my rookie year. It feels like I'm still year 2, and stuff goes by fast. And I think that's when you look at the calendar and once again, just respect the amount of time that it takes to get there. I think people will do everything they can not to lose it as fast.